Chinese robot dogs are climbing stairs right now. Not in a lab, in a military demonstration. They're powered by DeepSeek, the same AI you can download free. Yesterday was New Year's Day, 2026. DeepSeek published a research paper that should terrify every American worker. They didn't announce a new product. They didn't hold a press conference. They quietly released a technical blueprint for training AI models with far less money than before. While you recovered from the holidays, Chinese engineers figured out how to make America's $1 trillion AI investment worthless. Here's what matters. America spent $360 billion on AI infrastructure last year. DeepSeek proved you can match those capabilities at 2% of the cost. Every dollar American companies spent is now a liability, not an advantage. Someone has to pay for that mistake. The same week DeepSeek published, TechCrunch surveyed enterprise investors about 2026. Multiple venture capitalists said the same thing. AI is coming for labor this year. Not theoretically, not in 5 years now. One investor put it bluntly, AI will become the scapegoat for executives covering past mistakes. Read that again. They're not cutting jobs because AI works. They're cutting jobs because AI failed. They need to hide losses. Let me show what's happening. An MIT study found 11.7% of American jobs can already be automated using current AI, not future AI, the models running today. The World Economic Forum estimates 85 million jobs displaced by year's end. Forbes says 65% of retail positions could be automated in 2026 alone. But here's what nobody's explaining. Your company spent 2 years telling you to learn prompt engineering. They bought enterprise ChatGPT licenses. They promised 10 times more productivity, workshops, newsletters, making you feel AI was your friend. What they didn't tell you, 70% of AI projects fail. Only 17% of companies have AI at production scale. The MIT success rate for corporate AI, 33%. 2 out of 3 AI projects your company launched went nowhere, but they already spent billions, gone. So where does that budget come from now? Where do executives find cash to cover a failed AI strategy they can't admit failed? From your salary line, from headcount reductions blamed on automation efficiency, from restructuring announcements that never mention AI failure. This is the trap American workers walked into unknowingly. American companies committed $1.3 trillion to AI infrastructure they cannot abandon. Oracle has $105 billion in debt, up $78 billion from last year. Meta spends $72 billion this year. Microsoft committed $80 billion. Google pushes $93 billion for 2026. These aren't investments, these are bets. And China just proved those bets wrong. DeepSeek's founder is a 40-year-old former financial analyst named Liang Wenfeng. He made millions applying AI to markets, then built an AI company in Hangzhou. Then he used that money to build an AI company in Hangzhou. His model, DeepSeek R1, was the first major reasoning AI to undergo peer review in the journal Nature. Here's what his team figured out. You don't need the best chips if your software is efficient enough. DeepSeek 5 3.2 introduced something called sparse attention. It cuts the cost of running AI models in half. Same performance, 50% cheaper. When your competitor matches your capabilities at a fraction of the cost, spending more money doesn't help you, it buries you. And the policy response made everything worse. Follow this timeline. October 2022. Biden bans advanced AI chips to China. National security concerns. Late 2023. Export-compliant alternatives get restricted too. Early 2025. Trump tightens controls further after DeepSeek R1 launches. April 2025. They ban the H20 chip entirely. NVIDIA takes a $5.5 billion charge. August 2025. They approve H20 sales. 15% of the revenue goes to the government. December 2025. They approve the H200. 6 times more powerful than anything Beijing could legally buy before. 25% revenue share to the government. You ban chips because you're worried about Chinese AI capabilities. China proves they can build frontier AI without those chips. So you sell them better chips. What was the point? David Sachs is Trump's AI czar. He justified this by saying that selling chips to China discourages them from developing their own. That logic might have made sense 3 years ago. Before DeepSeek proved Chinese firms can match American capabilities at 2% of the cost. Before they open source those capabilities for the entire world to download for free. The leverage is gone. You cannot restrict what's already published. You cannot embargo knowledge that's already free. So now we arrive at the question you actually came here to answer. What do you do about this? Here's what China figured out that Silicon Valley still doesn't understand. The race was never about who spends the most on AI. It was about who uses AI most efficiently while preserving what AI cannot do. And there is a lot that AI cannot do. AI cannot build trust. It cannot sense when a client is lying about their budget. It cannot feel the tension in a room before a negotiation falls apart. It cannot look someone in the eye and make them believe in a vision that doesn't exist yet. Stanford research found the dividing line. AI struggles with tasks requiring genuine human emotion, creativity, physical dexterity, and ethical judgment. These aren't soft skills you put at the bottom of a resume. These are the only skills that will matter in 2026. Let me prove this with data. The jobs growing fastest through 2033 aren't the ones everyone's chasing. Nurse practitioners show 45% projected growth. Physical therapists show 17%. Cybersecurity specialists show 33%. Mental health counselors face a projected shortage of over 100,000 positions. Notice what these careers share. They require reading between the lines, sensing what someone needs before they say it, making judgment calls in situations where the data is incomplete or contradictory. AI can analyze 1 million medical records. It cannot hold a patient's hand. It cannot sense when someone isn't telling the truth about their symptoms. AI can process every cybersecurity threat pattern in history. It cannot intuit that something feels wrong about a system before the data confirms it. The highest paid consultants in 2026 aren't the ones who know the most facts. AI has that covered now. They're the ones who can sense what a client really needs underneath what they're saying. The highest performing salespeople aren't closing deals with perfect data and AI-generated proposals. They're reading emotional triggers in high-stakes negotiations. They're noticing when someone's body language doesn't match their words. The most valuable engineers aren't writing code. AI writes code now. They're making architectural decisions that require weighing trade-offs AI cannot quantify. They're deciding what should be built, not just how to build it. The skill that separates you from automation isn't what you know. It's how you make people feel about what you know. So how do you actually build this? Here's a tactical framework you can start using today. First, develop what I call cross-domain synthesis. This is the ability to connect ideas across completely unrelated fields. Read 3 articles from 3 different industries. Then write 300 words explaining how they connect. Do this once a week. This matters because AI optimizes within domains. It finds patterns in medical data or financial data or engineering data. What AI cannot do is see how a supply chain insight connects to a hiring strategy, how it connects to a customer psychology pattern. Humans who can synthesize across domains become irreplaceable. You're not competing with AI at that point. You're doing something it fundamentally cannot do. Second, practice 3-level listening. In every conversation, listen at 3 levels. Level 1 is the words they're actually saying. Level 2 is the tone underneath those words. Level 3 is the emotion driving both. After every important conversation, ask yourself these questions. What is this person actually afraid of? What do they want but won't say directly? What would make them trust me more? This is the skill that builds relationships at the speed AI cannot match. Chatbots can respond to words. They cannot respond to fear they sense but wasn't spoken. Third, ship something imperfect. Launch a project before it's ready. Write something you're not sure about. Make a decision with incomplete information and see what happens. This matters because AI is trained to optimize. It waits for more data. It hedges. It produces the statistically safest output. Humans are built to iterate. We learn by doing things wrong and adjusting. The willingness to be wrong in public, to ship before you're ready, to make a call when the data is incomplete. That is a competitive advantage AI will never have. The companies that win in 2026 will be led by humans who can make judgment calls without perfect information. Because perfect information doesn't exist anymore. The world moves too fast. Fourth, build trust deliberately. This sounds obvious, but most people don't do it systematically. Trust comes from three things: consistency over time, vulnerability that shows you're human, and delivering on small promises before asking for big ones. AI can simulate empathy. People can feel the difference. When you sit across from someone and they sense you actually understand their situation, not just their words, but their fear and their hope and their frustration, that creates a bond no algorithm can replicate. Here's the uncomfortable truth that ends this story. China didn't beat America by building better AI. They beat America by understanding that AI is a tool, not a strategy. They optimized for results while Silicon Valley optimized for valuations and press releases and data center announcements. American companies told investors that AGI requires hundreds of billions in infrastructure. China demonstrated that frontier AI requires smart engineering and resource optimization. American firms built business models around proprietary pricing, $15 per million tokens, enterprise contracts, paywalls everywhere. China built open-source models anyone can download for free. When a startup in Lagos or Bangalore or Sao Paulo needs AI capabilities, they're not paying OpenAI. They're downloading DeepSeek. This is why Chinese open-weight models are being adopted globally at an unprecedented rate. Not because they're Chinese, because they work and they're free. But here's what this means for you personally. The $1 trillion flowing into American data centers buys a lot of concrete and chips. It doesn't buy back the strategic position America just lost. That race is over. But the race that actually matters, the race for irreplaceable human skills, is just beginning. And that race doesn't require $1 trillion. It doesn't require government contracts or venture capital or chip manufacturing plants. It requires you to develop the skills that AI cannot touch. Cross-domain synthesis, emotional intelligence, the judgment to act on incomplete information, the ability to make people feel understood. The workers who thrive in 2026 won't be the ones who learn every new AI tool. Those tools change every 3 months. They'll be the ones who master what AI cannot replicate and use AI to amplify those human advantages. You can't outspend DeepSeek, nobody can, but you can out-human them. The $1 trillion infrastructure race is already lost. But the race for skills that actually matter is one you can still win. And it starts today.